Hey guys, welcome to the Challenger Show. And today we have another guest on our show. So she is the founder of Soulful Living LLC, and she is the energy practitioner based in United States. And she is also the author. We will know about her, what things she does, what does energy healings means. And hey Divya, welcome to our show. And could you give us little bit introduction? What is your work and what do you do? Small introduction.
Thank you, Kishore, for having me on your podcast. And my name is Divya Madan. I have a PhD in metaphysical counseling, and the work I do is basically encompasses four dimensions of every human life. So I have a practitioner license for Ayurveda. Also, I have a health coaching license, so I do like nutrition. So full part of anybody's life is important, like the gut health is important,
Yeah, yeah.
but at the same time, like the relationship, the emotional issues are important. Then the third thing which is important is your intellectual uh, uh, stimulation,
Yeah.
or the work you do you feel good about it? And the fourth pillar I would say is money, or the financial situation that you're in. And the top of it all is spirituality, the understanding of spirituality. So take it as like a table with four legs. And if one of the leg is like a not of the same size as other, it will not be stable. So for your physical stability, for your stability, basically, if you are a table and with four legs, so physical, emotional, intellectual, financial, and put the top of a spiritual. So that is what metaphysical counselors do.
Yeah, actually, I have never thought about this in this way. The visualization of table. I have never thought about this. So first, I will give what is my meaning, what is my basic understanding of energy, and like being coming from a person who is studying physics, have studied physics, biology. So I feel that energy is kind of a essential part of this universe. So whether it be outer space or the our own tiny planet floating on the so energy is a kind of a fundamental. It's the running the it's also running our human body. Whatever food we are eating, it's kind of directly converting into energy. And I feel that energy is everywhere. And the it's so you can explain about it, like what does energy healing means, and what is the energy medicine field?
All right. So going back to a little bit about my background.
Yeah.
So I did my physics honors, like my bachelor's is in physics and my master's in computer applications. I am a first batch MCA from a renowned university in India. So, and then I worked for a renowned company. It is like one of the top-notch company in India as of now as well. And I was offered a position in US. That's how I moved to US on my H-1B visa to work here. And at a very young age, I was given lots of work. So I was chairing some SEI, CMM level of work, which is more like is having a process which is like repeatable and brings success.
Okay.
So that was my journey, and I moved on to the level of different positions in IT organizations, whether various leadership positions in the organizations. It was, and at the same time, while this life was going for me, this corporate life and all of this science and all, I was always intrigued with things which is like unknown. It was always behind my back even as a child. Like I used to have premonitions, and these premonitions were so accurate, and I never realized that this is something like you don't have understanding. I think everyone has this. People say gut feeling, right? I had a gut feeling about this. So everyone has some kind of intuitive ability. So now what is intuition? Intuition is, for me, it means in tune with self. If you are connected with yourself, you will be able to see things in much more clarity. So science, yes, it is important, but I worked with so many people in the organizations on and off, like people. And like it is, I think, the area of interest maybe, that I was like kept drawn towards people who had mystical abilities. So wow, how somebody can do this, wow, somebody can, like, there are so many things, like, oh, this people told about my future, these people told about my parents, like it is like very common. Like I think each and everyone on this planet has experienced something mystical, that I really wanted this to happen, and it was like till last moment it felt like it's not going to happen, and then somebody came and he said this and this happened. So lots of coincidences, synchronization keeps happening in this universe.
Yeah,
And being a student of,
I would add to few more things. So yesterday I had one more guest. So and I have some of friends. I feel so they are having some kind of good vibes. Whenever I talk to them or see them, like I always feel something out of them. Like it's kind of a good vibes coming out of them. So is it also related to with this, or it's kind of separate?
no, so this is all interconnected. So now you are a student of science, I'm a student of science too, but at the same time I had finished my bachelor's in metaphysics, master's in metaphysics, and finished my PhD in metaphysics, okay, and specializing in metaphysical counseling. So basically I got the PhD in philosophy. Now, uh, what exactly the good vibes and bad vibes are, okay? So all of us, I feel like the 50 trillion cells in our body, like we are interconnected. It's like a network, right? It's a matrix, it's a network, everything is. So we all are interconnected in some or the other way. Everyone is interconnected. So if this 50 trillion cells in my body is definitely a depiction of everything in the universe, that is my understanding, that every planet. And no, and we, there is like so many science which people call it pseudo. I don't think it should be called pseudo. It should all given equal importance and brought forth, be it astrology, be it crystal, be it
Yeah.
energy healing, because these are all complementary. Like one size does not fit all.
Yeah.
Everybody's need could be different, right? So we talking about good vibes and bad vibes, we all continuously keep emitting energy. We know that we have electric pulses. We all have electromagnetic fields. There is like a geopathic stress. It's like all these words are already coined. This is not like a new term that I'm introducing, right? So, good vibes is something that when you meet someone, and when we meet somebody, we emit a certain kind of aura. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone has all kinds of personality. One person, like that is like, say, one person, say a prime minister, Modi, okay,
Yeah.
or prime minister or President Trump. For some people, they are God. For some people, they are demons or very bad people, right? So, what you are getting out of them, it is the same person doing the same thing for everyone. But how you are perceiving is based upon your own perception. Nothing to do with that person,
Yeah.
right? So that is how it is, that if you are collecting good vibes, that means like your connection with that another energy. I just take everyone as a ball of energy, and my connection with you or my connection with somebody else, or experiences of you with me versus the experience somebody else has with me, can differ, because what they trigger in me. If somebody triggers goodness in me, because we are everything, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, everything is within us, right? It is up to us what we choose to receive. And sometimes you don't even choose, it's like a subconscious connection. So you connect with somebody, the auric energy they're emitting is matching with your auric energy, and it becomes a supportive energy,
Yeah.
and you start feeling good about it.
Yeah, you were explaining about the energy science. So and that's that sometimes happen. I interrupt in between and the guest's flow disturbs. So you were explaining about energy medicine and what's your backstory. So you can go in depth about it. Like what's your backstory? So you talk about the education thing. So you can continue that where you left.
Okay, I will also try to shorten my answer because I feel that I go.
Yeah.
So, anyways, So my background, I told you about my education and I told you about my work history. And in so I was introduced into meditation when I was in early 20s by my husband. Like right after my marriage, he was into meditation since we were in eighth. He was in eighth grade, and that was the first time I got introduced. And it was very first experience with his spiritual master who was in Himalayas in Ranikhet. Uh, it was like life changing for me. What I experienced in that short interaction with his master was like life changing for me. The visions that I started getting was like unexplainable. I was very young, but that led me to believe that there's something more. I always felt that inside of me. When I was 4, somebody passed away, and I was constantly not worried about that somebody passed away. I was worried that where are they, what exactly they're doing. And my concern as a 4-year-old was, I still remember I asked my dad that now they are dead, so they don't have to go to school, they don't have to eat, they don't have to do any work. How exactly they are going to survive, like what exactly they're going to do? I clearly understood that they had not gone anywhere. They are just changed, they're transformed into something else. And now, what exactly they might be doing, they don't have any idea. So, at that time, the explanations, and immediately I think my father understood where I'm coming from, and he gave me a couple of books to read. I started reading very early, like I was 4, and I remember I was reading full books. And I saw that in my daughter too. She was 3.5, and she could read like a 300, 400 pages book very fluently. Like, and I never taught her reading properly, but she was like preschool and she was reading the whole book, and I was like that too. So yes, everybody has different gifts, and I had that gift. So I was early on introduced to some books which was like mind boggling, like how Jhansi ki Rani reached to a certain state. If you guys have read the story of Queen of Jhansi, and he also gave me the book about Shivaji, and it was like exemplary that how a
For
common girl.
non-Indian audience or people from the other parts of the world, you can just go on Google and search about who is Shivaji or who is Queen of Jhansi. So you can know about their story. Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, so the crux of these stories was that how a very humble beginning of someone can, with just their mental, emotional, physical strength, they can reach to anywhere. They can, like Jhansi Kirani fought, like the Queen of Jhansi. She was one of the woman warrior of 1857
Yeah,
when she was fighting the English colony. Shivaji had the similar thing with the invasion of Mughals in India, and these were like very humble beginning. Just a mother instilling the faith into a child that they can do anything, and just the discipline, just the mental strength, hardly any resources. They got connected to the right people who
yeah,
would hone them. So even if like a Queen of Jhansi was born into a very humble background, but she got connected to the kingdoms, the kings, the queen. Because I feel whenever you're ready, the right teachers come in front of you. It is your readiness.
yeah. I think Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said it. Like whenever you, like whenever the student is ready, master appears. So,
So I have not read it anywhere,
yeah,
but I'm glad that he and my Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and I carry the same
yeah,
opinion about a spirituality. Or yes, so that I perfectly, like, I agree that that is what I believe in. That every time, even the students, the quality of students coming into my system will keep getting better and better as I get better as a teacher.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so so we talked about your thing. So like what your company does. So it's called Soulful Living. So how did the name came and what are all areas does it works in?
So, uh, so I started with meditation. I told you about this abilities, and then I got introduced into something called Reiki healing very early in life, and I had like amazing recovery from my thyroid issue. I was suffering from hypothyroidism for almost 10 years. Like I got it when I was in college, and I think it was stress or whatever it was, but I was suffering from, and I had to continuously get tested. I was about to get my thyroid removed. I was literally sent to the operation theater to get my thyroid removed. Somewhere inside of me, I do not know, I felt it will get better. It will, this phase will pass. And my mom was introduced to Reiki, and then finally she introduced me. And the amazing recovery that happened like instantly. Once, like my foot was like literally swollen. I got hit by something very hard, and she just put her hands on my foot, and the pain was, and I was like, really, I did not take any medicine, nothing, and my pain was gone. And then secondly, like after practicing for 21 days or 30 days, like I had to get my test done, and it was normal. Like I got my test done, and doctors were like, can you come back? It looks like your report is wrong, because they had my previous reports, and it was like mind boggling. Tested myself a couple of places, but every time I test was normal. And they were like, no, you cannot continue on medicine because you do not show, like, like the Western medicine practitioners go by the report. The report says that you are good, so they cannot give me. Maybe I will start shivering, or I will start getting nervous or depression. Thyroid brings lots of mental, emotional issues on the top, and you don't even know what exactly is happening. Is it because of the thyroid? People are feeling depressed. It could be a thyroid issue, but there could be other issues too. So that was my eye opener. And I was like, I will practice it. And somehow I never inhibited myself as calling myself like a spiritual or energy healer. So all I had to do is like, there is a method that you invoke the energy into your system. And like, I can probably demonstrate a little bit. So right now we have been talking for quite some time, right? And as I will invoke the energy in my hand, okay, and I close my eyes, and it's like, and I can probably start now. You can see I can start vibrating, and I cannot do this with. Okay. So so this vibration that you saw right now, okay, it is basically we can connect to any kind of energy in this environment, and we are constantly interacting with energies in our environment. Sometimes people do not even know that they are crying, but it is not their hurt, it's somebody else's hurt, because we are like that. Whatever visible is visible to you is only 20%. Rest of it is like invisible. Like, and very simple example I'll give you, like your physical body. You can see me, I can see you. Okay, something like fan, bulb, refrigerator, we all can see it, but what is behind it is electricity. Can you see electricity?
No.
Right. So similarly, this is our physical body. We all are breathing oxygen, which is common. It's a common field. It's not individual to me and you. Right.
Yeah.
Now, the third body or third dimension of a human body is the mind. Mind is again not in the body. You cannot operate on mind, you operate on brain, right? And every cell has its own brain. Agree? Every
Uh,
cell in the body has its own brain. So
yeah.
mind works through brain, but mind is not available. Mind is all permeable like oxygen. It's all everywhere, and everybody has access to it. So depending upon what you're praying for, what you're looking for, thinking about constantly, you will attract the similar kind of energies into your system. So like energy attracts like energy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the fourth state is perception. Some same act in one country can be considered great, whereas in another country it would consider bad, right? Same is like, and that is where that is religions. Like a religion is like based on perceptions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But so perceptions, now if we have the understanding that perception plays a role in a human's behavior, the mindset, right? Or the environment they are in. right? 70-degree Fahrenheit can be too hot for somebody who's living in North Pole, versus 70-degree is going to be too cold for someone who's living in on the equator,
Yeah,
who's
and then
constantly be.
also the Fahrenheit thing is not common here in India. So we calculate in like our temperature
Centigrade.
system is centigrade Celsius. So sometimes people say 100 and something, and I really struggle with the Celsius and Fahrenheit conversion.
Okay, so let's do
Yeah,
this. Like if it is a 15-degree centigrade
yeah,
temperature, some people might say it is cold,
yeah,
some people might say it is hot, depending upon from where it is coming from.
yeah,
If I have lived in Himalayas or Everest or North Pole or northern side of America all the time, it was very cold. So if I come to 15-degree, I might feel hot, right? It is like it's a warm weather, it's a hot weather. Whereas somebody who has already always lived in 20-30-degree climate, for them 15 degrees cold. So 15 degrees hot or cold weather depends upon your experiences, and based on that, whatever perceptions you have created. So
yeah,
we constantly keep judging things without even knowing that we are judging, and we judge things based on our perception. So this is our fourth body. Mind works based on perception.
yeah.
And then when mind works, mind gives the information to the brain, brain gives information to heart or whatever, like it goes all over through the nervous system. So we have like five sensory organs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Eyes,
yeah.
ear,
Today
nose,
only we were
taste.
like I had one friend, so he's into the meditation and he teaches about Bhagavad-Gita. So in Bhagavad-Gita, if people know about it, I don't know, but so it's kind of a people consider it as a religious book, but it's I feel that it's more about life lessons that were taught 10,000 years back. Right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
similar concepts of like controlling the mind and like how sensory organs. So we were talking about it today only. So you can continue.
it,
You can continue your thing.
so you are so correct. And I feel that all of these literatures, or a book which is called like so-called Hinduism, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Hinduism, I think it was just like developed as a way of life. So it started with do's and don'ts. So what you should be doing, what you should not be doing, kind of thing. And right from like the Vedas or everything, everything is all about the way of life. And all these like, and then people, even I feel that a Hindu also does not know Hinduism enough, because there's so much to read that in one lifetime nobody can go through each and every text available.
yeah,
Even like Vedas, like we have Atharved, which talks about religion. No, it talks about health, right? Rigved, Samved, Atharved. But it is a different topic of discussion. I'm not going over there. We're talking about very basic five senses.
yeah.
Five senses and five elements. Okay. So we have first sense is smell.
Well, yeah,
Okay. Is smell and connected with the earth element. Then our second sense is taste. It is connected with the water element. The third sense is eyesight, connects with the fire element. Fourth sense is touch,
yeah.
connects with the air element. Fifth sense is hearing, with the space element. So it is like a science which has to be really understood. And this is taught in Ayurveda or Chinese medicine. A Chinese medicine had like five different structure. The Ayurveda talks about earth, water, air, fire, space. That is what we are made up of.
Yeah,
So these are five elements. Apart from that, it talks about two more elements. One is wisdom, and the other is the connection to the universe. So constantly, like we are grown with like some basic mantras, and I'm not attaching it to any religion, but just take it as a text that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So this is like a very old in ancient wisdom. Vasudhaiv means the whole universe. Kutumbakam is family. So the whole universe is my family. And if any single thing in this universe is not happy, no one can be happy. So all of this universe has to be happy, for each and everyone has to be happy. That's one. Second thing that we are grown up with, sarve bhavantu sukhinah, means everyone should be happy. Sarve santu niramayah, everyone should be healthy. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu, means everybody sees goodness in everyone, or everybody sees auspicious things. So those are ma kashchit dukha bhavet. If these three things happen, everybody will be happy. Lokah samastha sukhinah bhavantu, means everyone on this planet Earth should be happy. Loka is humankind. But we have several scriptures which talks about antariksha shanti, prithvi shanti, means earth be peaceful,
Yeah.
water be peaceful. So we have all of this into the wisdom that has been passed. But over the period of time, those knowledge was shifted, and we came up with new theories like what this person had discovered, this person discovered, this person discovered. I am very happy that all of these discoveries has happened, but we should always remain connected to those ancient textures, and we should have kept improvising upon it. That did not happen. They just went two direction. Western science and Eastern science just went in two different directions, and now so many people are trying to marry it. Even like lots of the US government has a research wing which is like ESP, researches on extrasensory perceptions. Some people have extrasensory perceptions. Police departments use extrasensory perceptions, people with extrasensory perceptions. And many cases are solved by these people because they have the vision. Like if they have shown the picture of this person and they close their eyes, they exactly know where they are, what the kind of location is looking for, where are they sitting, what kind, and they lead police to that point where they can find it. I have a different kind of ESP, like I can, if I close my eyes, I can see where your chakras are going. So, so now let's come back
Yeah. Yeah.
and stop here. And I would allow you to ask more question.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, I got stuck because I was thinking about different topics that we talk in few minutes. So it's not according to theme. So I was thinking about what happens in podcast. We follow a theme. So sometimes podcasts go in different direction. So it might be one of the longest episode. I don't know. It can turn out to be one of the longest episode on this show. So I was talking about whenever somebody visits your profile or your website, they see fancy words like cosmic healing or bioenergetics. What those words means, or like what's their actual meaning? Yeah, you can go about.
Okay, so soulful living. So a soulful living has like as I started, we have four ways to work on people's energy.
Yeah,
So everyone is energy, we all agree. Okay, so how we raise our vibrations. So if I have these are very basic things, like we assume that if you have a positive vibrations, or you're at a higher conscious level or vibrations level, your lower levels will be, lower energies will leave your body. So the first principle that we get in is like, if you have good in, the bad will go out by on its own. Okay, and also we believe individuality of every person. So we approach from physical, emotional, as I said, intellectual and spiritual way. So first is like my Ayurveda side,
yeah,
with which and then my second thing is like the voice scanning, that is a basis. Like, so I practice energy medicine and energy healing. I combine together to heal people, and I have miraculous recoveries, like hundreds and thousands of miraculous recoveries in past 20 years and 5 years of my professional working. So what it does is like, what is bioenergy and what is energy healing? So let's start with first bioenergy. Why I am using bioenergy in my practice. So this is a cutting edge technology. It is based upon physics and principles of physics, as well as biology and chemistry, of course. So here we divide the body in the software is designed as if like the body is divided into 12 meridian. Meridian is the channel. Talked about the five senses, right? So if your eyes are, then you would not be able to read things clearly, and you might perceive. So maybe the C is written in capital in crystal. It says C is capital. Rest of the words are in small letter. So you just looked at C and you might decide that it is cat or whatever, right? Because your eyes are weak. So what we start with, collecting the information using either voice or a hand scanner. Voice also, like everyone has a unique voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody has a unique tonal quality. At the same time, when you're happy, when you're angry, you're anxious, your voice can tell people on phone that you are happy or anxious or angry or sad, right? So your emotions are reflected in your voice, right? Okay, from where the voice is coming, the sound, like our body is 70% water and we are made up of atoms. It is scientifically proven that there is 90% is a space in every atom. We have cavities in our body,
Yeah.
be it bone cell, be it muscle cell. Everywhere there's a cavity. Okay, so what happens, like when the sound is passed, the air is passed through a cave, or there's like or then when the wind blows in a certain way, we hear a certain kind of sound, right? Your heartbeat is a sound. So body is producing subtle sounds continuously. So our voice scanner catches the voice, takes it through a software which is like the algorithm, and it just captures what is happening in your body, every single meridian. With the hand scanner, you put the hand on the scanner, and we have nerve endings all over our hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's proven, right? So this is kidney, this is the liver, this is eye, this is this. So we have nerve endings. Same is like foot also. Reflexology is based on that. So when you put your hand, so what it does, it like it measures the frequency from those points and it with the actual good frequency, and then it comes up with this are the things which is vitiated and this needs to be tackled. Okay, the energy medicine that I practice is based on frequency. So the water is, so we have 70% water, and based on the vibration that you're passing through water, the structure of the water changes. Again, this is proven. I've not created this. Done this, experiments have been done by many scientists. Okay, so the structure, water has a structure, good and bad structure. There are many theories and experiments that if you take a water, a water in a glass or something, you take the structure of the water, watch it under the microscope, and then you start like different many experiments, Emotos and many other. You start cursing, like take one glass of water and curse it every day, and just say the changes in the water structure. And take one glass of water and you pray. You just every day pray and meditate and give good vibes, good energy. You are healthy, you are happy, you are good, all good things. And you say you're bad, you're da, da, da. So all of, so the structure of the water changes. Similarly in our body, when we are having a stressed emotion, there are different kinds of enzymes and toxins gets produced in our body. When we are happy, like dopamine, oxytocin, and so many enzymes gets produced in the body, all of it changes the structure of the water in your body. So with lots of research, lots of experiments, like many years of experiments, and has gone into it to produce this software that I practice. I am a practitioner, energy medicine practitioner.
Okay. Okay.
And so that is one thing. So every time the anybody connects with me, first thing is like give me your voice sample, and then I have a video on YouTube also, that how many parameters, like more than 450 parameters I capture with the voice, both mind and body. Okay. And then there's acupressure points, there's whatever the vitamin deficiencies are. So that is the snapshot of your energy at that particular moment. Now, my second part is energy healing. And then we also, the medicines and pharmaceuticals goes with it if somebody's interested, but it is optional. The second part that I go with it is energy healing. So I demonstrated, and it's the same thing, like I can connect with the people. So, and it's an ability and that can be developed that you can connect with the other energy. Okay. So physically we are connecting. So you can
Yeah,
imagine
some.
the, you,
So I have a weird experience. So sometimes whenever I remember a person or a friend of mine, so somehow or the other we are. What happens is we are thinking about. Supposedly, I have one friend named Krishna. So I'm remembering what Krishna is doing right now. So I should contact her. So at the same moment, I generally receive a WhatsApp message from her. Whatever, it's kind of, I don't know what is it, but it happens
yes,
to me most of the time whenever I'm remembering my father. Should I call him or not? So
and he
sometimes,
will.
yeah.
Yes. So this is what, so everyone is connected. Okay. Some people have like a more abilities to connect versus others, depending upon where they are in their life. So this is like inherent to everyone. I don't think that energy is a alien word. Energy is part of everybody's life, and we can channel energies. And meridian is just the channel through which the energy flows in our body, like nerves, right? So in Ayurveda and Chinese medicine brought to the physical level, and they divided body into 12 parts. And Ayurveda has says 84 lakh nadis, means meridian, nerves that is connected and through which the energy flows. The Chinese medicine made it a little simpler. It just divided 12 parts. My voice scan technology has up to almost 16 parts. So the whole body is 16 parts. And if you're here, so when I example of eyes, if your eyes are weak, you will not be able to see things clearly. Does not mean that things which is written there is wrong. My eyes are not perfect to uh, perceive that information, right? So we, with the help of both the things, we overall transmit energies, which is like toxins, the the perfect blueprint. And my timeline any chronic issue is like months. My and so my Soulful Living does.
So yeah, actually, I was thinking about going through Panchkarma. So it's it's coming under
Mm,
your Ayurvedic thing. So you also
yes.
do it. So like I feel here in India, we have kind of a really stressful life, specifically people living in cities. So we get faced pollution and specifically nowadays it's COVID. So like population in Indian cities is huge. So which city I'm currently living in Pune. So there are, I think, more than million people in just 10-mile radius. I can feel them. They are there. So sometimes we feel that we are constantly facing the negativity and everything. So does Panchakarma helps in that? What is Panchakarma means, and what is the like what is the step process like? How can it help me or anybody else, any city goer?
Okay. So let's now come back and understand what Panchkarma is. Panchkarma, in one line, I can say it is a whole body detox,
Okay.
whole body mind detox. You can probably say that. Okay. So Panchkarma, I'm a practitioner who always works online. So my clients get Panchkarma done on their own. So I have a DIY kit, like do it yourself kit, and I send it to them with the instructions. And along with that, so my Panchkarma program goes like a 21 days program. And in that, during that 21 period, we connect every day for 45 minutes to 1 hour. So why? So this packet is gone to them. There's an instruction manual. At the same time, we meet every day for 21 days so that whatever they need to. if there is a question, I can answer that, and at the same time I take them to the meditation. Why? So Panchkarma has like 3 parts. So 3 weeks. So first week is pre-karma. 7 days is like second week is the main karma, which is called pradhan karma, and then there is post karma. So another 7 days. Pre-karma means like preparation for the detoxification. Then the second week is detoxification phase, and then the third phase is recuperation phase. So generally people divide it into 5 parts. I do it in 3 parts. Okay. So it is like a whole body detox. So yes, we have like modalities, which starts with abhyanga, which is means massage. So every single thing which goes in, and when the detoxification starts happening, the emotionally also people start releasing stuff. So the basis of any detoxification, where basis of any disease is always psychosomatic. So something happened, any situation which created a emotional impact on your body, and if the impact was too much, it will affect some or the other part of your body. So when we are doing whole body detox, the toxins are coming out, and the toxins has a base somewhere in your emotion. Okay, so those emotions might surface. So that meditation that I take every day, I do not leave them by themselves, is basically to help them understand what is the issue and why they are feeling it that way, and how they can change it, so that when that situation comes again, they know what they're creating.
Okay.
So this is like preparation. So it's like a whole diet and massage and herbs practice, but you can do it on your own. Yes,
Okay.
if somebody does it for you, like it's a massage. If you get it done by somebody, or do it by yourself. Obviously, if you get it done by somebody else, you'll feel more regenerated, or like more relaxed, or more pampered. Here you have to pamper yourself. That is the only difference. But uh, and so it is not be like as close as like if I ask you to drip water on your oil on your forehead, you won't be able to do it. But whatever I give is good enough for any person to cleanse themselves. And I have done it with at least right now like almost like 1,000+ people have used my kit, and they all feel good. So this is like I do it like once in 3 months. So, and the next one is coming up in May,
Okay.
and I'm
Okay.
gonna get
Okay.
started
Okay. Okay.
the first week
So
of May.
you have also authored a book, I think, and next book is also coming. So what is your book all about?
Okay, so the book Demystifying Love, the Saga of Unknown. So the book is like demystifying love. Why I called demystifying love? Because if we are suffering from any health or relationship or financial issues, it is because we are not giving enough love, or we are blocking love. Sometimes we block success, and some of us definitely have heard it, that we are our own blocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is blocking your success? You yourself, right? So I have like a 12 stories, that how somebody, this is like real healing stories from my practice. So I took like 12 best ones, which was depicting different emotions, that how we attach our energies into situations, not even realizing that what we are creating. So, in understanding your thought process, like demystifying love, that where are you blocking love and why? And then once you change it with the understanding, it's not about energy healing, it is about once you understand that this is my problem and this is where I need to change, then healing starts happening on its own. So I have a workbook here also to help anyone go to that point. And if it is situations very severe, like if somebody is already in a situation of suffering any chronic issues, it has already manifested in their life. So at least you can change your thought with this book right away. It
Okay.
is like basic, that I feel everyone should read it. So
Okay.
I will give, yeah. So if
Yeah,
you're, if you
I
have
will
time, I
drop
can give you
I
a
will
small
drop.
story.
Yeah, I can drop the link also about your what the book, the Amazon link. So what's
Mhm.
your next book about? So you are also writing a next book. So I heard about it.
Yeah. So it is like the series. So it is next step to, once you have identified what your problem is, you have understood, you have read a story. So I will, if you are okay, I can just give you like a small summary of one of the stories that was like probably it will give you some idea that what exactly I'm trying to tell everyone with this book. So I had a client and her parents called me and they said that uh, my daughter is suffering from cancer and can you please help? So I could see what issues were in her body and she was on phone. I did not know that either, but at least I could see what was going on in her body. So and I was talking to them on phone. So is it here? Is it like this and that? So probably she felt that yes, I can see things which she's experiencing. I didn't even talk to her then. And then she decided to have sessions with me. So once we started the session, immediately I felt that she did not had a mother figure. Consciously, I know the mother and father called. So I was like, "Where is your mom?" And she remained quiet for a while, but then she said she passed away when I was 14. So I'm like, okay, so this is your stepmom. She's like, yes. So I'm like, how did she passed away? And she said, she passed away because of my father was not able to give her enough time. So she committed suicide. And I'm like, okay, I got it. What exactly is coming? So I knew what is coming, but still I kept inquiring her. And I'm like, of course, nobody will commit suicide because the husband is not giving her time. uh, what was happening. So she said he was having an affair, and I was 14. My other brother and sister were like much younger than me. They were, I think, four or five brothers sisters. She was the oldest, and she said that. So immediately I knew. I'm like, and father married the woman that he was having an affair with. She said yes. And she started crying and immediately I knew what exactly is going on. I'm like, okay, so you could never forgive your father? She's like, never. He's such a loving, I dote on him, he dotes on me, he loves me most on this earth and I love him most. But that particular thing, every time I saw them together I felt they are the murderers of my mom. And I'm like, then you want to punish them? And she said, only thing that I always only wanted was that my father should not have married that woman because of whom my mother passed away. At least if he could do that, but he did. So for her, he did not mourn the death of my mother. So I'm like, so you want him to mourn? And she's like, yes, I really wanted him to mourn the death of my mom. And it's been almost 22 years that that story happened. So I'm like, okay, so he did not mourn at that time. But you is still like you are passing in the universe, he did not mourn. So universe is listening that the father should mourn. That is quote unquote. What mourning? They do not know. The universe is just listening that this person should be mourning. So I'm like, okay, so now if he has to mourn, how that would be possible? It has to be somebody close who dies. Then only he will mourn, right? He's not going to be mourning a neighbor's death, right? And immediately she was like, oh my God, I created my own death. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
That the word I want my father to mourn, he did not or did, does not matter. But if you're constantly throwing that information in the universe that I want this person to mourn, this person to mourn, this person to mourn, and you are the one who is closest to him,
Okay.
universe or you yourself chose, you presented yourself. See, so one line I'll tell to your audience that when you're walking your dog and he's in leash, You might think the dog is leashed. You are also leashed because you're holding the leash, right? So it is always two-way process. If you bind someone, they bind you too.
Okay.
The energetically you both are bonded, and this is called entanglement. And the whole life journey is releasing the entanglement one after another. People will come into your life, and whatever purpose they have, accomplish it and move forward. But if two-person gets entangled and they do not grow in their relationships, that relationship will become stagnated. And what happens to stagnant water, you know that
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
starts
So
smelling.
yeah. So I would like to conclude the show. I'm not hurrying, but what happens is whenever the length of the podcast increases, viewership drops. So we will conclude the show. And people who are finding this interesting, you can always rewind back if you miss something. So how can people connect with you? Should I like your
So
website or what? What
website
place
is
should?
there, and I will be more than happy to. So there's a phone number, but I will be more than happy to give my business phone number, which is 1-412-378-2551. I just do not want any barriers. Just connect with me on text, on Messenger, and
Okay.
tell me that you want to connect with me. We can just, I can send the Calendly link or something, immediately get connected. I just want the easy flow.
Yeah.
Is there, if
Yeah.
you know about me, website is there. I have 3 Facebook pages. On Soulful Living LLC page, you can go and check the testimonials people have written by themselves. So it's unaltered, untest, and then I'm not very keen on getting feedbacks, but yes, some people are kind and they put their testimonials. I have many, many, many. So lying everywhere. But whatever I'm saying, connecting with you, then talk to me directly.
Yeah, yeah. So I will be giving all the links wherever you are listening to this podcast. So I will be dropping the link down below or the above wherever you are listening or hearing this. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay connected. And another next episode is coming up, which is more interesting than this, or and few more updates regarding the show is I will be only posting twice a week. I am currently working on some of my personal projects, so that's kind of update. So I will be only posting twice